Welcome to Inspire and Move, the show that inspires you to create, connect, and grow. I'm going to bring you meaningful conversations, aha moments, and all the motivation you need to up-level every part of your life. I'm Ali Aruda, founder of Inspire and Move, and your personal hype girl. I've gone from fashion school to celebrity stylist to corporate marketing to brick and mortar entrepreneurship with my husband, each time learning incredible lessons how to pivot, reimagine, and implement the steps to become successful. I am passionate about inspiring others to live their best life, a life of joy. We have the power to design a life that we love because life is too short not to. The best part is that you weren't meant to do this alone. If you feel like you were meant for more, let me ride shotgun with you, and together, let's get you to where you want to go. Welcome back to today's episode, everyone. We are here for part 2 for my interview with Tiffany Cohen. I don't know about you, but I absolutely loved part 1, and I was actually just so obsessed with our entire conversation, all about high vibrations and manifesting and energy and healing. So buckle up, pour a glass of tea, a glass of wine, kombucha, water, whatever you love, and let's dive into part 2. I'm so with you, Tiffany. I think that so often things that happen in life are full of lessons. And, it comes with a mindset that many of us have to work on. You're not probably just born with it. You have to put in some effort and time and patience and probably some dollars to really invest in building this powerful mind so that you can approach these things, these traumas, with the most positive angle that you can and really look for the lesson that you can extract from it and how you can take action on that.
Yeah, absolutely. 1,000,000% agreed.
All right. So I feel like I have so much here, but I want to sort of pivot the conversation a little bit to one of these very powerful words that you dropped kind of early on in our conversation. And that is all about manifesting.
My favorite.
I know. I'm like, woo, manifesting. It's one of my favorite topics. It's something that I am also trying to, personally adjust my practice and maybe welcome some meditation, more journaling. But I would love to, hear your expertise on manifesting, how you welcome it into your studio and your clients and what that journey has looked like for you.
Yeah. So manifesting, I absolutely love it. And when you can start, we're always manifesting. So we're never not manifesting. With every thought, every action, the things that you wear, how you show up in the world, all of those things are manifesting something for you. You are co-creating with the universe. So step 1, understanding that, right? Understanding that you are co-creating, that your world, you are creating it. So if you're creating it, why are you creating things that you don't want to see? Right. Mm-hmm. So you're doing it. It says, if you start to blame others and start to say like, oh, it's because of this that I can't start my business. It's because of this. Then what you're doing is you're giving your power away. So as you start to understand that you're creating your reality, you start to bring your power back and starting to say, okay, well, I don't like this part of my life, or I really want this thing, not this. So I'm going to start creating that. I'm going to start to open up the energetic field to this thing. Right. So step 1, take your power back, understand what's going on. And then from there, it's really starting to get clear. And I understand that there are different types of manifestors. Some people are like specific manifestors and some are not. I think the smaller part of the population is actually non-specific manifestors, but specific manifestors, which is what I am, I like to journal it out, kind of write down exactly what I want, because most people who are trying to manifest things, Ali, they don't know exactly what they want. And they're giving the universe mixed signals. It's like, well, I want a vacation.
Busy.
Yeah, exactly. And if you say I want to go on vacation, that can mean many different things. Do you want to go skiing? Do you want to go, sit on a beach? Do you want to go to Disney? Where are you going? Right. So you can't just say, I want a vacation, right? I always give this analogy. If you go to the deli, you're not just ordering a sandwich, right? You're not going to be like, I'll take a sandwich, please. You're saying I want roast beef. I mean, this is a New York thing. I don't know. But, you're saying I want roast beef with cheese on a roll, light mayo, and it better be light. You're telling them exactly what you want. And you have to be specific with the universe and saying exactly what you want, but you have to know what you want first. So what do you want? get really, really clear on that. And then from there, I like to do visualization processes. I think that that's really great, is to really feel into it, really see it unfolding around you. And, there's this, I call it hashtag manifesting, right? Because there's this idea that manifesting is so easy, and manifesting, it can be easy, but you have to be willing, right? You have to be willing to surrender. You have to be willing to be patient. Okay. You have to be willing to heal. I think that the secret ingredient, I think there's two secret ingredients to manifesting, and that is surrender and healing. That's the secret sauce, right? And once you can start to allow for these things in your life, you can manifest whatever you want, right? You are limitless. You are absolutely limitless. And the only person that's limiting you is you. So when you can start to understand that, now you can start to say, okay, well, in order to get here, right? We talked about law of attraction, right? So if you don't have the thing that you want right now, you're not vibrating at the frequency of it. So we know that, right? We can start out with that. So what do you need to start doing to get there? And these are the questions that I begin to ask myself, because all the visualization in the world is not going to matter if you don't start to vibrate at the frequency of the thing that you want. So right there, what are the things you can start doing? Well, number one, you can start to embody that person. Who is she? Right? Like, what does she dress like? What is she doing? What does she do with her mornings? What is it? And start to step into that every single day, reminding yourself. When I was manifesting the shop, I would wear this one outfit all the time. And I would say that this was my outfit that I would wear when I did inventory. And I would wear that and I'm like, all right, it's inventory day. I didn't have a shop. I didn't have product. I had nothing. Okay. But in my mind, I would make up these stories all the time. So you better believe that when the physical location was open and the first day that we're doing inventory, I showed up in that outfit, because I was like, okay, here we go. We're here doing that. We're here doing inventory. It's my inventory outfit.
I love that.
Yeah. So embody who it is that you want to be. And I am a true believer in the clothes that you wear, how is she, coming to work every day? What is she doing? Right? You have to wear those clothes. I'm a big believer in that. But the other thing too is that you do have to create the energetic space in your body for it. And that's where like the healing and the spinal energetics and all the things come in. Because remember I said that they're anchors, right? Those samskaras, those energetic, knots in your body, they are anchors. So how can you get all the way high up in your, and receive the energy of the thing that you want if you have all these anchors holding you down? So you have to start to understand what it is to let them go, so that you can have a bigger capacity to hold the energy for the things you want. So that's why healing is so important. Yeah.
I love all of this. And I'm kind of with you. I am a full body yes with you. I am also a specific manifester. My husband and I have a most often daily practice. It depends on what time our day starts, just being in the fitness industry with the gym. If we're up at 5, that's one of the morning routine elements that goes for right now, unfortunately, but we are specific. Like, I do a lot of events. I like to manifest a specific number of tickets that I want to sell in a specific amount of time. Instead of saying I want to have a sold out event, I'll say like, I want to sell 10 tickets this week by Friday, end of day, to have a bit more manageable.
Absolutely. I love that. So you're putting it out in the universe, how many tickets you want, right? Right there. Sold. And absolutely. I'm sure that every time you hit that and more, I'm sure people are like, can I just get in, please? Okay. Because this or something better.
Yes. I love that statement. That is a favorite statement of mine as well. And I try to use that with people in my community if they are maybe not the same, I'm going to say the same level, but not the same belief system and mindset around it, where it's like, just have a quick reframe. It's this or something better. And how lucky are you that something better is going to come your way?
Yeah. I mean, what I always like to say too is like when you try to hold on too tightly as well to like what you think something should look like if you're like, it can, it has to be 30 tickets and 30 tickets only, but like you have 60 people like banging your door down, like you're not going to let them in, like you have to allow for the universe to work its magic. You have to allow for the flow and the ease to come with it as well. So understand that you can, put whatever manifestation you want out there, but you have to be willing then to flow with it and say, okay, well, how does this look different? Maybe I don't know, universe. Like maybe I'm supposed to touch 60 lives today and not 30, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you never know what something can actually turn out to be. Or if the universe is asking you to pivot, like I always say, like, who are you to tell the universe that they're wrong, that it's wrong, right? So let the universe then, like that you know better. I know better, universe. So give me this thing instead. No, I want this thing, but I'm open to receive whatever is meant for me. Right. Like, so allowing that flow in starts to then say the universe, like, go crazy. Right. Like, give me all of the things that are meant for me and watch what happens. It unfolds in the most amazing, amazing ways. Always.
I love that so much. And I mean, I've even had, let's say, some events kind of, let's just chat, or I'll close the loop on the, specific tickets, where if my goal was 60, but I actually only sold 40, and I have been working hard on sort of reframing my own mindset and recognizing that, how lucky am I that there's 40 women that want to spend this day with me, this evening with me. And then within those 40 women, there might be like some sort of unicorn connection that can be a player for another event I have, or a podcast guest, or something that can help someone in my community. That it just being able to reframe from being so specific of like what I'm trying to manifest and achieve, that the numbers come down short, if you will, but this or something better, like what is within that 40 number versus the 60 number, and just being able to sit in that gratitude and the abundance of all 40 women that came.
Yeah, because like you said, you never know. Sometimes you needed that intimate event, right? Like you
Mm-hmm.
needed it in your mind. It was bigger, but what actually the crowd needed was a more intimate version of it. And then it becomes more potent, right? So
Yeah.
like your message, like everything just hits different in that potency, and people become closer because there's not as many people. So there's so many things that can come out, so much beauty that can come out of it if you can reframe it, right? It's like, yeah, everybody that was meant to be there was was there, right? So like you have to though allow for the reframe and not the disappointment.
Oh, yes. All right. Now, still on the topic of manifesting, what would be some advice you would have for people that's either A, totally new to manifesting and where they could start, and then B, someone who is more of a seasoned manifester, but they want to become more expansive. They want to take their manifesting to the next level. What could they do?
Yeah. So I would say if you are a beginner, start by testing out the universe, right? Like ask for something like small, right? Like maybe you want someone to, I don't know, maybe you want to see, I remember a coach of mine once said like she wanted to see a tiger, right? And like she would put it out there in the universe and say like, all right, universe, I want to see a tiger. Show me a tiger, because she was really testing it. And she saw it like 3 times, not an actual tiger, but a tiger. Someone's name was Tiger. She saw one hanging off of a car, like a stuffed animal. Like there's many different ways it could come to you, but start small. Start with something really fun that you're like, oh, wow, I saw, I said I wanted to see a duck and I saw a duck, like something like that can be really fun. And what you're doing there is, number one, you're proving it to yourself, like the universe is proving it to you, and you can start to sit in that a little bit, but you're also like really raising the vibration of fun. Right. So start with that. That could be a great thing. And then the other thing I'm going to say is gratitude, right? So start a gratitude practice. I feel like gratitude is like that thing that just kind of kicks everybody off into their spiritual journey, their spiritual practice. I feel like it's like the gateway, because when gratitude is a magnet for miracles. So you have to have gratitude every single step of the way. You have to have gratitude in your manifesting journey, in your healing journey, and all of the things. So when you start with gratitude, start by doing not just the things like the roof over my head and the air that I breathe. It's like, yes, you are grateful for those things. But what you want to start doing is tuning your mind into the smaller things that happen in the everyday life. Like, I'm really grateful for this hot cup of coffee in my hand right now. It's like warming my soul. It's made perfectly. So these little things can really add a lot of like becoming present in your day, right? So gratitude and starting to test the universe would be a great place to start. If you are a seasoned manifester, what I am going to say is this: how much healing are you doing? Because I can guarantee you that you have the capacity to hold more, a hell of a lot more. So are you incorporating healing into your manifesting journey, or are you just like choosing things and kind of going for it and really kind of getting it through what I would say like an expansion, a contraction energy rather than an expansion energy? Because when you are in contraction, which a lot of us are, which contraction is that like, I don't want to go there. This is scary, things that you need to heal. If you're in contraction, you can manifest whatever you want, but it feels very hard to do it. So it's like, okay, I got it, but like I had to work my ass off. I had to, do so many things. I'm exhausted after getting it. It doesn't feel great now that I've have it, right? So you're doing it from a place of like that you really need some healing done there. When you work from expansion, you actually can start to heal all of those things, and going for the manifestations is actually easier. It's so much easier because you have the capacity to hold the energy. So if you haven't ever read the book, Victoria Song, she's my mentor. I love her to death. She wrote a book called Bending Reality, and she talks a lot about this. We carry it at Spirit and Soul. You can head on over to shopspiritandsoul.com and you can look for Bending Reality. It is absolutely, I tell everybody to read it. It's so amazing. But she talks a lot about that contraction and expansion energy and why it's important to start to clear the way.
Oh my gosh. So I was like taking notes for the
Yeah.
book. I'm like, okay, Bending Reality, write it down.
Yes.
Because I love that. I'm gonna say like genre of books about energy, mindset, manifesting, money mindset. Those are all kind of my niche right now. So I was like, that sounds like a great one to write down.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a good book.
Okay, those are amazing takeaways for everyone, being like the newbies that manifesting or more of the seasoned manifester. And you've touched on a few times throughout our conversation about vibration and high vibration. And I know this is even something that people can even experience at the studio, but I want to just kind of chat a little bit more about being in a high vibration and how people can, what it is. For those listening are probably like, what's high vibration? Give me the tea.
Yeah.
But if those of us that, are familiar with it, what can we do to stay, or, you're out of high vibration, what brings you back? And I can appreciate that's probably all relative to everyone as an individual. But if there are some great takeaways that people can sort of make a note of, and things that they can try to just weave into their practice and their daily routines of what they can do to put their best foot forward to be in a high vibration and the magic that comes from being in that state.
Yeah. So what I would say is this: if you think about, think about like a guitar, right? So a guitar has many different strings, right? And if you pluck one, you're going to hear like a lower sound versus another string where you may hear a higher sound, right? So I want you to think about that right there, because both of those strings are necessary, right? Like you need both of them to create a beautiful song and a beautiful melody, right? If you just play the high notes, it's not going to be as deep, right? So you do need all of them. I am a believer that your vibration really comes from your state of emotion, right? So there are emotions that we all have, and we're all going to go through them throughout the day. We're going to have high vibration emotions like love and gratitude and joy, right? Those are the highest vibration emotions that you can have. And then you're going to have lower vibration emotions that could be like anger, frustration, annoyed, jealous, right? Like all of these other things. And we kind of flip flop and go through them all throughout the day. So, but we need them, right? We have to understand those lower vibration emotions as well and why they're coming up. Are they triggers, right? There's many different things you can gain from them, but none of them are bad. They're all just there. They exist, and it's what you do with them. So if you have a bad day, actually, my son he was having a bad morning this morning. So let's say you wake up and you're just like woke up on the wrong side of the bed. You're just like annoyed, you're upset, whatever it is. And now what you're doing, what's happening is you're in this low vibration frequency because you're annoyed, right? So like you're sitting in this energy. So as you start to go throughout your day, what's going to happen? If you continue to stay in that energy, like attracts like. So you're going to meet every single person that is also in a bad mood and maybe a worse mood than you. And they're really going to upset you. And it's going to continue and continue. And it's going to keep you in this lower vibration emotion throughout the day. So what I like to say is that there are things that you can do to really lift up that energy, but you have to be aware, right? So I think that raising your vibration comes down to awareness of you, right? It's being self-aware of where your emotions are, witnessing them, and then deciding what you're going to do with it. So like my son, he was witnessing, he was like, I just woke up in a bad mood. I'm like, okay, so are you going to choose to continue to be in a bad mood today? Or are you going to choose differently? Because you get to choose. And I saw it kind of click in his mind. I'm like, you can choose to have a bad day or you can choose to have a better day. And maybe today is not going to be the best day, but it could be better than where you are right now. Right. So then he came home from school today and he was in a much better mood. I'm like, how was your day? Did it get better? And he's like, yeah, but I had to keep choosing for it to get better. So he did understand that you had to choose, right? So it's all about, he kept being self-aware, right? So it's about the choosing of those higher vibrations. It's seeing that you can choose. And maybe you're not going to get to ecstatic joy that day, but you can raise your vibration up to a little bit of a higher energy frequency, right? So we want to start to do that and start to just be really self-aware with our energies and where we are, and be realistic with them too. You're not going to go from a bad day to an amazing day unless you are really working at it. Like you got to work at it. So I think that it's truly you stepping in. Now, how can you do this? How can you start to make those shifts? Well, I think breathing. Okay. Breathing, coming back into the heart space, intentional breathing is a great way to do that because you're leaning into the heart, which the heart holds love and gratitude and joy. So if you start to really tap in and close your eyes and just tune in for a minute, immediately those breaths are going to start to calm the nervous system, making sure that your exhale is longer than your inhale. Okay. Cause that's what calms it. So starting to calm the nervous system, starting to tune in the natural energies of the heart space and feeling into those. And you will start to see right there a shift right there as soon as you allow yourself to do that. So I don't care if you got to go do this on the toilet. I don't care where you got to go somewhere and start to shift your energy. And then you could even do something like a gratitude practice. That's a very high vibration exercise to do. So you can write down like quickly, all right, what am I grateful for? Okay, you know what? And that's always going to bring a smile to your face. Always. Because whatever you're grateful for, what brings you joy, right? Or it brings you like a good feeling. So these are ways that you can start to lift up into those higher vibration emotions. And I don't want to ever, do a toxic positivity approach on anybody because I don't think that that's good, number one, because I do think you're supposed to feel all the feelings, but it's what you do with them. So as long as you can start to understand what you're doing with your emotions, are you acting out? Are you raging? Or are you like, all right, I see this, I witness it, and I'm just going to let it go. I'm not going to tune into it. You could really, really start to lift your vibration up.
I love all of this. And I think it's something that resonates so deeply for me, being the owner, along with my husband, of a gym. And for me, fitness and working out, exercise is absolutely a vibration raiser. And I've loved having, some of my personal training clients come in and they'll almost give me the disclaimer, like, I'm just going to let you know, I'm in a really bad mood. I'm not having a great day, which appreciate the honesty. And just a couple of weeks ago, and it's now been amazing content for me in the podcast, using my client Lauren as this example, giving me this exact disclaimer. And I kind of forgot about it to like midway through her workout and at the end of her workout. And then she's sitting we have these amazing Normatec recovery boots. She's sitting there with her cold peppermint towel post workout. She went to get a coffee after her workout. And I asked her, I was like, are you still in a bad mood? And she's like, oh, no. Like, we both forgot because, you sort of address what's happening and then you work for those 60 minutes to turn it around, doing something that raises your vibration. And again, exercise is something that is exactly that for me. And it is so amazing to see. And, kudos to your son for even crediting and being honest that he had to actively choose, because that is also quite powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. He's 11 and he's a super old soul. So, and he listens to the things that we talk about,
And actually, speaking of listening, I feel like that was a question I had for you even before we got started. I wanted to ask your insights or recommendations about high vibrational music.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's so many different things that you can go on. I love to just go on Spotify and like look for whatever it is I'm looking to accomplish that day. So if it's like manifesting, like I'll put on, that's like the 888 frequency. You just look for frequency music. So frequency like hertz, it's HZ, I think it is. But yeah, so I like that one. There's some really, really great ones on Spotify. But also if you just like, I remember I was having like not the greatest day, or I was like feeling like a little like heavy in my heart. And I just put on healing frequencies and I just had them playing throughout the house. Like I just had it on in the background. So as I was like doing things or working or whatever it was, I had that going and it just sets a tone. So I love having things on like that in the background. As like a healing frequency. There's a love frequency. There's so many different things. Just look for what it is you want and you will for sure find it.
Okay. Well, also added that to my note list from our conversation. Yeah. So I have a couple of like quote unquote rapid fire questions that are actually in very much alignment with our entire conversation. And my first question for you is, what are you reading right now?
Oh my gosh, what am I not reading? So I read like 1 million books at a time. So I'm reading Mary Magdalene Revealed for the 5th time. If you have not read this book, it is life-changing. It's all about opening up the heart. And so that's one of them. So I'm reading that. I just finished the series, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I just finished Silver Flames. That was so good. And also all about shadow work. Really great book. And then I am also reading Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell, who is yep, he is my coach. And I'm reading it for like the millionth time as well.
That's amazing. I love that. I actually audiobooked that one, and I think I need to go back and do the like visual paper book as well.
I did the same thing. So I listened to it. I started talking to him. I signed up with him to be my coach. And then I bought the physical book and now I have it also on my audio again. And I kind of just keep feeding it because it's like gives me a little bit of to-dos. So I love that. But it's such a good book. I think every entrepreneur needs to read it.
Yeah, I would absolutely. I second that. That.
Oh, and Bending Reality is another book that everybody needs to read, honestly.
Okay. Oh yes, and that one. We're gonna have like a library list in the show notes here. Okay, so that's your reading list. Now I want to know what's on your joy list. What brings Tiffany joy?
So I love my morning rituals that I do. That really brings me joy. So every morning I get up and I have this 4-step process. I tell everybody about it. So it's first step, hydrate. So drinking water, hydrating your body. Second is I meditate. So I do any meditation anywhere between 5 minutes, if that's all the time I have, to 30, 40 plus minutes, right? So that's a nice little room. I usually have candles going with that one. I romance myself with that. So I meditate and then I educate. So I read, or I'll listen to a podcast, or do a course that I'm taking, and then I also caffeinate. So I'll have my coffee in the morning. But for anybody else, it could be tea, it could be exercise, it could be anything like that gets your body like flowing, moving, and gets the energy up. So those bring me joy, as well as just being with my family. I love to cook. I love to, like I'm that Italian that feeds. That's how I show my love, is through like cooking and food. So I love to cook. I love being with my family.
Oh, what you cooking? Good looking?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, sidebar question. What do you take in your coffee? Like, I feel like there's potential for maybe like some MCT oil here, or some like lion's mane, ashwagandha. Give me the details.
I do collagen, and I do Anima Mundi happiness tonic.
Okay.
So those are the two that I do right now. And then sometimes I put a little Ceylon cinnamon in there. And and then I always put my like coffee, my creamer. So I do like an almond milk. What is it? Khalifa Farms, the vanilla, like no gums, none of that stuff in it.
See, I knew your coffee was going to be full of so much goodness. So I had to get the answer. Okay. And my final rapid fire question to close things out today are, what are 3 things that you're grateful for? 3 gratitudes.
I'm grateful for being here with you in this moment. I love this conversation. So I'm really grateful for that. I'm grateful that I had a really good day today. Definitely grateful for that. And I have a spinal appointment that's coming in soon, and I just love doing spinal. So I'm grateful that I know that she's going to be here any minute.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful foray to just like share with people, where can they find you? You've shared a few times that you offer virtual services, virtual classes. Tell everybody where they can find you. And we will, of course, have this in the show notes, but just let everyone know where they can follow you and find you.
Yeah, so you can follow the shop at Spirit and Soul Studio on Instagram. And that's where you can see everything that we've got going on. If I'm teaching a class, if any of our other amazing teachers are teaching classes, then you can also follow me. I'm Tiffany Marie. That's also on Instagram. And I actually want to offer all of your listeners a free class for Spirit and Soul. So whether you are in person and you're local to Long Island, or you are virtual, please come and join us, see what we have going on. And just, we would be honored to just hold space for you in whatever way that we can. So you can use code INSPIRE MOVE, and that will get you a free class at Spirit and Soul. All caps.
Okay. Tiffany,
so I'll give you all the details.
First of all, thank you. That is so kind and generous of you. But can I tell you something so crazy, especially as we're closing out this like magnificent conversation together? What? This entire time I've had this like tab open in my brain where it's like, all right, when we are done recording, I need to ask Tiffany if there's a way to work together and do a virtual class experience for the Inspire and Move community.
Yes. Oh my God. That'd be so much fun. So much fun. I'm down.
But you're offering it also by giving everyone a free class. So we'll have to do both.
We'll do both.
That is just amazing that it's been open in my brain this entire last hour plus, and you just generously offered that. So thank you so much. We'll have so many details for everybody in the show notes. It's going to be like a little work report for everything they get to read and do and follow and see. I have so much love and gratitude for you and your beautiful energy. Thank you for joining us for this amazing conversation. And I'm so grateful that you and I are connected, and I'm really excited to do some work together.
Me too, Allie. Thank you so much. It was such an honor to be here with you and with your audience today. And I really, really enjoyed this conversation. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. You guys, make sure you go give Tiffany a follow, give the studio a follow. She has shared that there's an online store, so make sure you check out the shop, and please definitely use that very generous code, Inspire Move, all caps. Again, we'll have everything linked in the show notes. And thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for listening. I'm so grateful for all of you. If you have a few minutes to leave a 5-star review and some kind words, I always appreciate that. And I'm sending you so much love for wherever you are, and we will see you again soon. Thank you so much for listening. If you loved this episode, it would mean the world to me if you took 30 seconds and shared this on social media, send it to a friend, or leave a 5-star review. There is power in community, and I am so grateful to have you part of mine.